realistic criteria for the definition of beauty could be established, it is certain that Lake Ohrid and its shores would be found in the highest ranks. The crystal clear waters of the lake, cradled between high wooded mountains, have made their appeal through the centuries. At an altitude of 695 meters above sea level, with the gentleness of its unique and unspoilt surroundings, as well as the treasure house of its cultural and historical heritage and its architecture, this is a place which simply overwhelms one and stimulates The Lake of Ohrid and its shores have a place all of their own on the map of tourist and cultural centres. People come here at every season of the year to see and enjoy a history 2.5 millennia long, and to enjoy the pleasant climate and natural beauties. The Lake of Ohrid itself, like Lake Tanganyika in Africa and Lake Titicaca in South America, is one of the few lakes in the world that came into being in this same geological period. Its average depth of more than 150 meters and its in the ranks of the greatest biological reservations. Its situation means that Mediterranean, continental and mountain climates can all be experienced here, with a relatively low atmospheric pressure and gentle changes of temperature. On average, it enjoys between 2,200 and 2,630 hours of sunshine a year. In addition to Ohrid and Struga, the two towns on the shores of Lake Ohrid, numerous tourist complexes have been built. There, where once stood the city of light, Lychnidus, now glows and glitters the museum city of Ohrid. Its archaeological finds and monuments take us back into history, to the Neolithic period of 6,000 years BC, They point us towards antiquity, early Christianity, and a period when Ohrid became a center of Pan-Slavonic literacy and culture. It was at that time that Ohrid acquired its name from Old Slavonic words, which indicate the old part of the town, built on a hilly ridge. The brightest pages in the cultural existence and literacy of the Slav peoples were written in Ohrid. The saints Clement and Nahum, the most famous disciples throughout the world. Let us begin our stroll through the Ohrid of today. Without fail, your hosts will direct you towards the Ohrid fortress, known as Samuel's stronghold. According to the discoveries made, this fortress had existed since the 3rd century BC as a protective bulwark for the ancient Lychnidus, and is of particular significance because here was the capital of the Macedonian Slavs. In the year 1018, when the first state of the Macedonian Slavs was destroyed, Samuel's fortress was destroyed, and it has been rebuilt more than once. Its protective ramparts, some 3 kilometers long, encompass the whole of the hilltop of Ohrid. The fortress was entered through 3 gates. Today, only one, the upper gate, has been preserved. Ohrid, the city of light, is rightly also styled a city of spirituality. At the time of Tsar Samuel, at the close of the 10th and the beginning of the 11th century, there were in Ohrid as many churches as there were days in the year. A special chapter in its history is the existence of the Archbishopric of Ohrid, which encompassed an area from the Danube to the Adriatic Sea, independent right up to the 18th century, when it was annexed to the Patriarchate of Constantinople. The churches occupy a special place in the string of cultural pearls to be found in Ohrid.